Hello and welcome, Wine Club members. I'm going to introduce to you the red category, if I can get it out of my mouth, red category of the Adventurous August 2007. As Adventurous goes, you may know this already, I personally like to pick the Adventurous because it's grapes and regions that are off the beaten path that you don't traditionally find in every restaurant or every grocery store. To me, it offers that additional bit of excitement because it's more of a discovery, and I think a lot of you out there signed up for a wine club because you wanted assistance in the whole process of wine discovery. This just takes it to the next level. The first wine we are going to talk about is a wine from the Rhone Valley. Specifically, this wine is from a region called Vin de Pays de Vaucluse, which I believe is in the southern portion of Rhone. The particular producer is Domaine de Vaux-Chêne. As you can tell, I don't speak French fluently, and pardon my pronunciation on the title for the name of this winery, but I can tell you it's a fantastic one. This comes from the 2006 vintage. First, I want to comment on the region. The traditional grapes you find in the Rhone Valley, specifically the southern Rhone Valley, are grapes like Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre, and that's exactly what blend you have in this particular wine. So let's give it a pour and see what we think. The reason behind blends are often the same mentality on why chefs blend spices with a dish. Each component will bring a different element to it, and the combination of each of the components are what make its whole and what makes the masterpiece and what makes the end product. Grenache to me in a wine is what brings kind of the base, the savory component of the wine. Syrah brings a nice spice and nice red fruit, and Mourvedre really just brings kind of an exotic aroma and filler component to the wine. Let's give this a go and see what we think. In the nose, this wine has a bit of an earthy component to it. It has some fresh red cherry fruit to it, a bit of red currant. It's got a really fresh fruit profile to it. It's pretty young, it's a 2006. But it doesn't fail you in the expectation of having that earthiness follow through. You know, on a scale of 1 to 5, I would put probably the earthiness at 2.5, which is fair because that's the expectation from a wine from this region. But with this youthfulness, it definitely has a lot of fresh fruit on the palate as well. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. This is certainly not a wine that you would put too much thought to. I think it's true to region and true to the grape types that are used, but it's a pretty no-frills wine. So I would put it with more simpler dishes. Whether it's I guess it's not so simple, but using things like buffalo burger. If you've ever grilled a buffalo burger that has a little more of a gaminess to it, duck is something that would work really well to it, but nothing too crazy on the preparation because it's a pretty straightforward wine. The tannins to it are low to medium, and overall I think a really good drinking wine, especially at its price point. The regular retail price on this wine is $9.99. The rebuy price on it is $8.99, special price for those who are interested in rebuying, and the case price on it is $101.90. The second wine that we have in the mix here is also another wine from the Rhone Valley. This one is specifically from a very famous region known as Châteauneuf-du-Pape. This is a region, a winery called Maison Bouchon, and the single proprietary wine for them is called La Thierry du Pape. As with the first wine, the primary grape in this is Grenache, followed with Syrah and some Mourvedre. Being that it's from Châteauneuf-du-Pape, my expectation as a result of the quality of land and the terroir, as the French say, really should come through a little stronger in this wine. The price point is higher, so I have higher expectations in terms of complexity, so let's give it a go and see what we think. Again, right from the get-go, the thing that jumps out to me on this is certainly the earthy component. It's much more pronounced than it was in the first wine. There is a berry component to it, but really the dominant characteristic, at least in the nose, is kind of that savory earth, white pepper spice, which is very true to Chateauneuf du Pape. This comes from the 2003 vintage, which for those who know European wines know that this was a very warm vintage. So I'd be interested to see what we get on the palate. This follows through with the savory characteristic on the palate, but it definitely has some fruit to it. I think it follows through with the more savory end of fruit as well, in that it's more of a stewed plum, dried raspberry component on the fruit. The tannins on it are kind of medium to dry. This is really screaming for some food. I would put this with grilled duck breast. I would put this with venison. I would put this with a grilled lamb loin. It's got very strong flavor, kind of on a scale of 1 to 5. I would put the flavor profile to this at a 4.5. So it's really asking for something that is very strong in flavor. And it's got enough backbone to handle kind of the textures of your more full-flavored wines. The regular price to this wine is $29.99. The special rebuy price for you wine club members out there is $25.49 with a special case price of $287.90. It's a limited item. We don't have a lot of it, so if you're interested in getting some, I would get in the store soon. But I hope you enjoyed the 2 wines we've picked for you for the Adventurous Red Red, August 2007.